Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm your grim grinning host Blake, and yeah, it's been a while. I know that. You're probably like, Blake, last year you were pretty up to date on all the stuff Halloween Horror Nights as it was coming out. You were like, boom, video, Terrifier, boom, video, like all that stuff. You were on it, and I just haven't, and I'm so sorry. That has nothing to do with my commitment to the channel. No, I'm not quitting. No, nobody's asked me that question, but I just thought I'd go ahead and clarify that I'm not quitting or anything. It's just been kind of crazy around here. You know what? Let me show you. Let me show you one thing that's kind of been preoccupying me. Just get 1 second. If you guys watch me on TikTok, then you guys probably have already met this guy. Look over here. Hey. Okay. Do you want to sit down? This is Chewy, everybody. Everybody say hi, Chewy. Okay, now you're going away. You wanted to sit here a second ago. Come on. There we go. Everybody say hi, Chewy. Hey. His favorite thing to do in the world is jump on me with his very sharp claws, and it kind of hurts. And dude, he's all over me until I want him to be all over me. Come here. Watch this. This is also his favorite thing. All the time. I don't mind the licks. That's fine. Those are just doggy kisses. But this dude, all the time, look. Oh, now you don't want to do it. He will always try to bite me. I like this little bonding moment we're having. Don't look at me like that. You're so gosh darn cute. But yeah, this is Chewy, everybody. New addition to the family. Love this guy a lot. But yeah, we're not here to talk about Chewy. He's left the room now. Now we are here to talk about Halloween Horror Nights because, yes, I know, I have been lacking. I've been, taking care of the dog, adjusting to life with the dog. Lil Boo, you want to turn back around and, chill? Okay. Yeah, and, it's just been kind of crazy. Really, we've pushed back the day that we are moving. We were going to move to Florida in March, but we pushed it back. We're going next. It's not this coming September, but next. We'll be going to Halloween Horror Nights, still doing that. What we are going to talk about, instead of having a video for every single house and predictions and stuff, we're going to actually go over all the houses that they've announced, because they've announced all of them. Although I'm not too sure of Scare Zones. Maybe I can look that up. I don't know if they've all been announced yet. But I'm pretty excited. So without further ado, let's just get into it. I've got them right here. Now we have, basic 10 houses, almost like pretty much every year. We have 5 IP houses and 5 original concepts. Now, I love my IPs, but some of those original houses they hit like Gawkin last year. That was pretty crazy. I like that. You know what? And I wasn't like a huge fan of El Artista, but I still think it was good. I actually kind of forgot my ratings, but if you guys want to know my ratings for last year's, you can go and watch this video where I rate them all. And if you want to see my official ratings, like after I just come out of the house, go over to TikTok at Your Grim Grinning Host, and you can scroll and go back, to a year ago, and you guys can see me as I go into the house, my predictions, and then I come out of the house and show you guys what my reaction is. Had some great ones. Terrifier, FNAF, they were great. But now we've got some other things here. So I'm just going to go down the list here that I have, starting with one of the bigger ones I feel it's going to be this year, despite being controversial, I think. That's Stranger Things 5, where we'll face Vecna and the Upside Down in the final battle for Hawkins. Just straight off the bat, do I think that's going to be a good house? I'm not too sure. Stranger Things houses, they were pretty good. Back when we had Stranger Things 4, walking into Eddie's, trailer and seeing Chrissy up, that was pretty crazy. I really liked that. It really felt immersive. But with that being said, Stranger Things 5 just wasn't scary to me. And honestly, I feel like I got a good amount. I say a good amount. I feel like one comment would have been a good amount to me, but I got a little flack on TikTok whenever I talked about how I didn't like Stranger Things 5. I don't think it was that good. I just don't think it was that. I feel like for it to be the final season in the series finale for one of Netflix's biggest shows, if not the biggest Netflix show, it just didn't hit, man. Like, it just didn't. And I saw the finale in theaters. Like, it just didn't. I was like, ooh. We have Stranger Things 5. Let's see, out of 10, what do I think is going to happen if this is going to be my official pre-ranking video? I'm gonna go with a 4. I don't remember Stranger Things 5 being that scary, so it's going to be a 4 out of 10 for me. So there we go. The next IP house that we have on the list is actually Hellraiser, a first-time licensed mashup of the first 3 films featuring Pinhead and the voice of Doug Bradley. Let me tell you something. I like horror. You know that. You guys know I love my scary movies. I did hop on the horror game a little late. I haven't seen any of the Hellraisers. I know who Pinhead is. I know like a very, very minimal general gist, like just the smallest. I know that it's like super graphic. I don't know who Doug Bradley is, so maybe I should watch a movie before we head out. I'm not too sure, but you know, maybe I'll like Doug Bradley. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. Watch it be like the worst character or somebody having to do with the movies, and it's like, why would you like this guy? The next one, I think, actually just got announced like not too long ago since recording this video. And that's Ozzy Osbourne, Prince of Darkness, a wild ride through 45 years of the rock icon's solo career in music. I don't know a crazy amount of Ozzy Osbourne and like his music and stuff. Obviously, I know like the hits. I know the big ones. I know that. So you don't gotta. What do I think that's gonna be? Oh shoot! I didn't rank Hellraiser. Whoops. Hellraiser. We'll see. We'll say Hellraiser is gonna be. I've heard it's supposed to be scary. I've heard a lot of people rank Hellraiser as possibly the scariest. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna pre-rank it a 7, mainly because I don't know a lot. But I am kind of expecting it to go up. So we'll see. We'll see about that. As for Ozzy Osbourne, though, again, I don't know too much about his solo career. I don't know, because I've never been fond of like the artists, like the singers and stuff. I didn't really like those types of IPs. Like a lot of people raved about The Weeknd when he was at Halloween Horror Nights, and it's just a lot of flashing lights, man. You know, blinding lights. You know, I don't know. But Ozzy Osbourne, he kind of does have more of a creepy presence than The Weeknd. So you know what? I think I'm gonna go with the 5 or a 6. That's where I'm gonna stay. That's where I'm gonna be. So we'll settle on a 5. A good middle ground to be pumped up. You know, there we go. 5 out of 10. The next one I'm super excited for, that is Evil Dead Burn, a first-hand fight against soul-sucking deadites inspired by the latest film chapter. No, I have not watched it yet. I actually didn't watch Evil Dead Rise, but I did watch the original trilogy, and I did watch the reboot, the other Evil Dead. You know, the one that scared me as a kid, seeing the girl come out of the thing. That when that trailer came on YouTube when I was a little kid, oh my gosh, that had me like going, when I went to the bathroom, I'd check behind the shower curtain to make sure it wouldn't jump out at me. So I like the Evil Dead. I like, you know, deadites and like the idea of that. I thought I like how graphic it is. Is that sick? Is that a sick thing to say? Kind of like how graphic it is. I like how it doesn't pull its punches. Maybe I should say that. I mean, I said I like Terrifier, so what am I supposed to? What do you expect from me here? I think that Evil Dead Burn is going to be a scary house. I think it's going to be a very graphic house. So yeah, we're gonna have to see what that is. And I think, what am I gonna rank it? I'm gonna say an 8. I'm gonna say an 8 out of 10. What is that? My highest so far? I think Evil Dead Burn is gonna be my highest, but that's my highest pre-ranking. It's not going to be the highest because this next one, you guys all know that I am super excited for this next one. You guys know that one of my favorite movies has come out recently, and possibly one of my favorite movies of all time is Sinners. And Sinners is our next IP house, our next and last IP house. And that is Step Straight into Club Juke from Ryan Coogler's film To Dodge Red-Eyed Vampires. We're going to get to see Remick. We're going to get to see Smoke and Stack. We're probably going to get to see Mary. We're going to get to see Sammy. Dude, that's awesome. Okay, listen. I can already picture it, okay? One of the creepiest scenes, and it's not even like it was super creepy because they weren't doing anything like extremely like traditionally creepy. but was Rocky Road to Dublin, when all the vampires are outside dancing, you know, and having a great time while people inside are like, am I going to survive? That to me is creepy. And I can only imagine like walking through a hallway and then entering Club Juke. And then you can hear like faintly, like behind the walls, Rocky Road to Dublin. Like you are inside of the Club Juke while they're outside celebrating. You are feeling what the people inside felt. I feel like we're also going to get a scene where Mary's probably going to pop out or something, and you're going to get that thing where like, we're going to kill every last one of you. Like we're going to get that line. I just think this is going to be so good. Especially, I'm so excited to hear the music. Like if I highly doubt they don't play, they're like, you know, show the music at all, because it's such a big integral point in the movies, the music. So I'm just really, really excited for this one. I'm giving that a pre-ranking of 10 out of 10. I will be sad if it goes down, but I'll be honest, 10 out of 10 right now. We'll see how it actually is. Now for the original concept houses, I do want to clarify something. If you guys watch me on TikTok, if you guys have seen my explanation of the lore between Jack and Oddfellow, they are actually our icons. Jack and Dr. Oddfellow are our icons this year. Super excited for that. That is huge to me. Like Dr. Oddfellow is like one of my favorite icons that's ever been there, and I feel like Jack is probably a good second. Now that's probably a hot take, because I know Dr. Oddfellow, like being an icon is more recent. I know he's been in the lore, but being an actual icon has been more recent, as of a couple of years ago. But no, Jack and Oddfellow having such a deeply rooted history, that's like major that they are now working together. And I say working together specifically because I was incorrect on TikTok. I explained the whole lore on TikTok of what happened between Jack and Oddfellow and how they were beefing and how they were like, yo, you're my op and stuff like that. But now they're not. Like they're working together. I wanna make that clear, because somebody called me out in the comments on that. They're like, but they're working together, homie. Because I was like, no, it cannot be further from the truth that they're not working together. This is actually a thing. I thought that it was like, this year they're battling in like two halves of the park, or like one's for Team Oddfellow, one's for Team Jack. I think that's a cool idea. We might have dropped the ball on that, but hey, who am I? I'm just a park goer. I'm just a guest. I am not the higher ups here making the rules. That's just where I'm at. But anyways, on top of, I know they do have a scare zone. It's like, I think one of the only scare zones that I know of. So on top of them iconing, is that a word? I don't know. On top of them iconing, they are also hosting a scare zone. Not too sure exactly what it is. We'll look that up. They also have a house. Jack and Oddfellow, Chaos and Control. Jack being Chaos, Dr. Oddfellow being Control. Watch me be wrong about that one. I don't think I am, but watch me be wrong. It's a monumental showdown exploring the unholy origins of two legendary event icons. Now, I feel like we've seen the origin a lot. Like, I feel like we've gotten a couple houses that I feel like explain the origin. So I'm not too sure exactly what else we could see. So, but I do think with them being the icons this year and them being so precious to the lore of Halloween Horror Nights, and IPs are cool and all, but Halloween Horror Nights is really it has a deeply rooted lore. Like everything original is almost like connected, you know. So I feel like they're going to put a lot of their heart and soul into this house. This is probably going to be my next 10 out of 10 house for my pre-ranking. Again, it can't go up, but it can go down. So I'm going to hold, you know, hope that it's a 10 out of 10, but I'm going to have realistic standards here. It might go down. We'll see. That's where this is at now. The next one I've heard a lot of good things about. I'm not too sure. The next one's called Cybergoria, a frozen future world where machines force you to live forever. It's a robot. Robots, they want to make you live forever. How does that, does that mean like turning us into robots? That's the vibe I'm getting. They're going to make us live forever by turning us into robots, and they're going to do it forcefully. Guys, come on. Consent. Let's be real here. I don't want to be a robot. I think when it's my time to go, it's my time to go. I don't need to be a robot. That's all I'm saying. Where do I rate this? Out of 10, I'm going to give this, I'll give it a 6. I'll give it a 6. I don't know. I like to stay optimistic in my pre-rankings. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 6. That's about all I could say. The next one I think is a cool concept. I like this. Invasion, alien abduction. A remote homestead torn apart by ship full of grays. I'm assuming gray is in like big headed, bulging eyeballs, skinny bodies, like the aliens. Sorry, let me say it again because I kind of interjected here. A remote homestead torn apart by a ship full of grays seeking test subjects. I feel like that's such a basic idea, and I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm just saying that's such a basic idea, and it's the reason I say that is because I feel like we haven't had that already. Like we haven't. That's kind of like I feel like that's a thing where you're trying to come up with stuff. You're like, why not alien invasion? You know, but I like it. I like houses that aren't as grand sometimes. I like the idea of you're in a house, now there's aliens here coming to get you, because it makes me feel more immersed. Like if I'm I'm gonna say this about the next one. I'm gonna get back to what I was just saying about the aliens. Let me go ahead and rank it and explain the next one so I can draw a comparison here. I'm gonna say alien abduction. I'm gonna put as an 8 out of 10. As for the next one, it is Madlands Caged Cannibals, a defunct zoo overrun by warring cannibal factions. So the comparison that I was trying to draw with aliens and being more grounded is I feel like I could be way more immersed walking through a homestead where aliens are coming down trying to take me as their test subjects and do whatever they want to do. Whereas I don't feel like I could be fully immersed walking through a zoo with cannibal, factions. I'm not saying aliens are more realistic than people wanting to eat people, because obviously we have proof that one exists and we don't have proof that the other exists, but it's like, I just feel like it's a much more grounded type of thing to be walking through an alien invasion. I feel like it could actually happen to me versus going to a zoo and there's people that want to eat people. And there's factions. Why are we at the zoo? What are we doing here? Why am I there? Did I just go to the zoo like expecting to see a tiger, and nope, it's just Joe, and Paul was there. So I don't. I think I'm gonna rank that one maybe a 4 out of 10, probably the lowest, because I just don't know how that's gonna be. I feel like we get like something like this every year where it's just kind of like, all right, last house, what are we thinking? Just cannibals. Oh, we can't just do cannibals. We have to have a setting. Oh, we can't just put them in a room. Okay, fine. What? You got that Mad Libs book over there? What's a zoo? Okay, cannibals in a zoo. Like that's how it feels to me. And this next one, I'm actually pretty excited for, because I did a deep dive on this guy last year. I did a whole video on how I thought he was going to be the icon last year. If you guys want to watch that, even though he wasn't the icon, I still kind of go over his story. That's this video right here. This house is HR Blood and Guts presents a Halloween Fright-tacular. It doesn't actually say what it was supposed to be. Give me a second. HR Blood and Guts presents a Halloween Fright-tacular on a dark and stormy Halloween night. Your favorite Maître d' Macabre. Ooh, sorry. Didn't realize we were getting so formal here. Returns to WKNB with a special scare-a-thon. Tune into a curated selection of HR Blood and Guts Tune into a curated selection of HR Blood and Guts' Halloween favorites in his... Let me restart. Okay. HR Blood and Guts presents a Halloween Fright-tacular. On a dark and stormy Halloween night, your favorite Maître d' Macabre returns to WKNB with a special scare-a-thon. Tune into a curated selection of HR Blood and Guts' Halloween favorites in this haunted house, complete with ghouls, gore, and all the frights that keep you coming back for more. Now, just if you don't feel like going to watch that video I told you to watch, HR Blood and Guts was like, like a show host, like a creepy Halloween show host, like Elvira, and he basically just kind of snapped and like did a whole episode where he was just, it was about holidays like Valentine's Day, Easter, and stuff like that, and he was killing people. So he's back. He's not the icon. Wasn't the icon last year. I'm not mad he's not the icon, but I do think that this house is going to be, I think that this is probably one of the more underrated houses. I feel like I've seen a lot of people saying like, oh, it's not going to be scary. Sometimes houses don't need to be scary. Wait, let me rephrase. Houses need to be scary. Sometimes houses aren't as scary as most people would like them, and I think that those houses, we need to appreciate the amount of detail that was put in them. There are some houses I'm just not gonna like Museum Deadly Exhibit a couple years ago. I didn't like that. That one didn't have a good enough detail, and the house wasn't as scary. Now, there are some, like Five Nights at Freddy's. That didn't scare me that much. It wasn't that scary to me. But boy, was that house that was an amazing house in terms of what it looked like. In terms of immersion, the animatronics, that was great. This one, I feel like is going to be one of those that's like, I like the radio station vibes. Like, one of my favorite things about Stranger Things 5 was, the radio station. I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm excited to see this one. All right, and now I've got the scare zones here. Infernal Carnival of Nightmares. That will be in Illumination Boulevard. Jack and Dr. Oddfellow invite you to step right up and see what horrors hide in every shadow at Sinister Spectacle. Okay. Up next, we have the scare zone. All right, and now we've got the scare zones. The first one being Infernal Carnival of Nightmares. That will be in Illumination Boulevard. Jack and Dr. Oddfellow invite you to step right up and see what horrors hide in every shadow at a sinister spectacle decades in the making. Sounds pretty cool to me. I like that. I like seeing Jack and Oddfellow together. I'm excited to see what the overall kind of story is. I'm excited to see how they work together. And I'm really excited to see the chaos and control really come together, because I feel like it's kind of hard to do both. So the next one we have is Downtown Clowntown, New York. That New York's like the part you guys know. Anyways, the city that never sleeps becomes a waking nightmare when it's overrun by killer clowns from outer space. Art the Clown and other clowns folk. Wait, hold up. I didn't know that. Other clowns folk who can't wait to tear you limb from limb. They're bringing back Art the Clown? That's wild. That's wild. Sorry, you guys are seeing it. I did not know about this. That's pretty wild. I like that. I like that. I liked Art. I did not get to see a roaming Art the Clown last year. I don't know if he'll be roaming this time. He'll probably just be in the scare zone. Probably a lot easier for, guests and park attendants anyways. So we'll see. Okay, this next one I did hear about. I thought it was, I thought it was a rumor. Fortnitemares in Central Park. Trudge through this scare zone and brace for the storm, because there's no telling what horrors it'll bring with it. What? What? I don't know. I don't know what this is. Why Fortnite? Why Fortnitemares? Like, I like Fortnite. Listen, I'm not ashamed of it. I've put some money. I put some money into Fortnite, okay? I like my skins. I like my Marvel skins. I like my DC skins, my horror skins. I have Art the Clown, the Grabber. I just bought Spider-Man and Punisher. Those are cool. But listen, do I think Fortnite belongs in Halloween Horror Nights? No. That's listen, two things that I like doesn't always mean they have to go together. I like hamburgers. Sorry, cheeseburgers. Gotta have the cheese. I like cheeseburgers. I like cereal. You're not seeing me put a cheeseburger ground beef into cereal with some milk. You're not seeing me do that. That's okay. You can't have, you can like both. They don't always got to go together. But I am fully willing to be pleasantly surprised. We will see. And then the last scare zone of this whole list, I guess, is a Sideshow of Decay in Hollywood. Cindy's time has come. With Dr. Oddfellow's dark sorcery, she opened a portal in the carnival's junkyard, using it to resurrect decayed nightmares from the past that are back to haunt you. That sounds pretty good. That sounds like the best, lore-driven scare zone. I'm excited to see what that one's about. I don't really have too much to say about it. If you can't tell, I'm not ranking the scare zones because I feel like day by day, it depends. It depends on how you feel. I can go through the first night and not feel that scared, and the next night I might appreciate it, and vice versa. So, and then we have Club Horror. Club Horror's back. That was pretty cool. Dancing, grooving, you know what I mean. Anyways, yeah, Club Horror's back. We guys know it's right there by Fast and Furious. The best ride in Universal. There's also some shows. A lot of people didn't think that Nightmare Fuel would be back. It is. I don't know why they. Please let me know if I was wrong about that. But there's Nightmare Fuel Blood Noir. That will be at the old Fear Factor stage where it's always been. You know, I tried to go see Nightmare Fuel last year, but it rained so hard it got canceled. That sucked. I didn't get to see it. And we hid out inside of a what's it called? The Harry Potter, you know, phone booth thing.
Yeah. Hey.
But it's going to be embark on a dark musical journey and resist temptation as death-defying stunts lure you deeper into a vampire-ridden metropolis. And then the next show, it looks like it's going to be in the Lagoon. That's going to be Stranger Things Return to Hawkins. The music, the monsters, the memories. In this show, tune into a special WSQK broadcast and relive your favorite moments from 5 seasons of Stranger Things. Sounds cool. I don't know if I'll watch it. We'll kind of see what the vibe is. Yeah, that's about it. There's a little unofficial scare zone. That's the Chainsaw Horde that's in Springfield. I'm pretty sure it's just the Chainsaw people. Yeah, they have them almost every year. All right, and that is pretty much everything I have to cover. I'm super excited. I want to know what you guys think. So let me know down in the comments if you guys have any predictions or if you guys want to pre-rank your Halloween Horror Nights experience in terms of houses. I cannot wait to see how this is. I feel like every year just keeps getting better and better. And even the parts that were so good last year, like Art the Clown, they're bringing back. Fort Nightmares, we'll see. I'm looking forward to see what they do with Fort Nightmares. Do I think it's going to be good? Not really. But I am looking forward to see how they use it because it's Halloween Horror Nights. You got to have something scary. I feel like all the ones that I said weren't scary. They were still trying to be scary and I could see the effort. But I just don't see how this isn't goofy. We'll see. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, night, or afternoon, or morning, whatever you guys are watching me, whatever time, who knows, wherever you are. And yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment what you think your favorite house is going to be this year. And if you haven't already, go ahead and press the bell icon so that you get notified when your Grim Grinning host, Grim Grinning posts. As always, I've been your Grim Grinning host, Blake. Thank you guys for watching. I cannot wait to see you guys in the next video. See you guys later. Thank you.